Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of the risk in the future market. Uh, what we do here, we share our signals and welcome everyone to copy those signals as long as at your own risk. Okay, for the ones first time they've been here, what we are doing, we're sharing our automated trade. We're not collecting any names, money, emails. We're just trying to help the traders, and as long as long you follow us, we at your own risk. We're not responsible for your trade. You're very welcome, and we will try to help you as much as we can. For the ones who have been here first time, what we have here is the market analyzer. The market analyzer print out a signal for you, the direction of that signal, and then entry price, target, and then how much money or how many ticks you get out of that trade. As an example, right now we are in a trade on the NASDAQ. The market analyzer is every day the same time frame is 1 minute, one lot. So as an example, the NASDAQ here, the signal is 741525 as an entry, and the system gives you the target is 433.76. We already crossed the target, and we are just now whatever we get above the target, we are getting out of that target. So from the last signal entry, we have nailed 116 ticks on that trade. And then on the pullback re-entry, this is called a safe re-entry point, is 741100. So you can always try to on the pullback re-entry, if you want to take those trades back, you can take it. However, this one here, the chart is the same principle as the market analyzer, but the chart is a given constant update, and it gives you new targets. It gives you new pullback, and the system comes with three different. I'm pulling back my trailing stop a little bit because I don't want to exit on those. The system comes with three different automated trade, ATM strategy, and full automated. I personally do not like full automated. I like ATM because I can control my trade. If you are on a full automated trade, you would have exit on the target where it says target. As an example, if you are using a full automated trade, your target was 442, and then you will exit on 442. The advantage of it when you are using an ATM, and as you see right now, the market is really spending with this, then it will be a very good, brilliant idea to extend your target, and then you will have the pullback re-entry. This one here is synchronizing tick by tick as well. The market analyzer is in and out direct, and the chart also you can connect it to the auto trade, but also you can manage those trades. Now you can see there is also an arrow. It's telling you there is a much more momentum, and we can see on the chart there is a lot of buyers coming. So I'm gonna jack this target a little bit more to see where we are going with this one, and I'm gonna pull this one a little bit back to see if we are able to get anything more out of it. The system has these two yellow lines, and once you get those two yellow lines, now we are entering into this critical area where no more long trade, and now we have to be careful. Uh, this is the entry. You should not be taking long trade anymore uh, if you are a Nasdaq trader or an ES trader. Once we now there is a resistance here. Once we are done with this, we'll cover the ES as well. I'm just trying to keep my eye on this one here. The ES just had an entry target, and I'm sure the auto trade has nailed that trade. I just wanted this Nasdaq to come down a little bit so we can pull those. This is a very early start. That's mean it's gonna, once this trend is over, it's gonna be hell trading the Nasdaq anymore today. A lot of buyers coming in. Okay. I apologize. I'll try to cover the rest of the screen once we have a break. This is your ES. Let me put the ES here. Keep our eye on the ES. The ES 2880 is a very reasonable target on the ES. It's not gonna go above the. Let me pull those back a little bit. The ES target at 2880. It is a very reasonable exit time on this one here. However, if we look at the Nasdaq right now, based on two contracts, what it costs you to take two contracts on the Nasdaq by a broker, $500, $600. So actually, you nailed over 100% on your investment. One of the things here, once we get to the yellow lines here, I extended the target, but now we have a reversal, double reversal. Those reversal do not repaint. So for those guys had a bad experience with the reversal system, those they do not repaint, and go back to this one. And now we are in this I apologize, guys. Just a second. The ES for the ES traders, we have a resistance. Those are your $35 zone. We have a resistance at this line here, 877, and I believe it's going to be crossing that line immediately. And once we break that line, there is the next stop on your ES is 80. Now, because this market, the Nasdaq, you can see there is a R4 and R7. That's mean we are about, and we are in this yellow line this is an indication the party is over on the Nasdaq. Straight out, 2400 done for today. You just leave. You do not stay trading, because once this market spike for today, there is not much to do anymore rest of the day, most of the time. So as you see right now, the Nasdaq, we had the signal on the reversal, and what we are trying to teach you here is how to maximize, even if you are auto trade, how to maximize your profit. And there is a good potential every single day, if on every instrument, from 200 to $500, if you just take the time and look at the chart, see if there is a potential to generate more profit on that. It's not going to be every day honey, and but when the market is trending, this is where we need to take advantage of it and take big bite out of that trend for another bad day. So right now, I believe in to leave room for the market to go back and forth, as long as you know what you're doing. And at the moment, the system here has, we came into this critical area where it's this yellow two lines. Everything you see on the chart is already updates itself. You do not have to do anything, you know. So if we are looking at this Nasdaq right now, we know where we can maximize the most out of that trade. 23, 2400, call it off for today and get it over with. And this is what you really need to uh, make sure that, you know, not to just let the system run by itself. It doesn't matter which auto trade, because those lines are very, very, very um, accurate, and that can give you uh, enough information if you decide that you want to take over from the auto trade and take those trades. So right now, things start coming down, and the ES, we have a resistance at 7726, pulling back to the support area at 74.75. That is making the Nasdaq to slow down a bit. So now we are our eye on the ES to see if this ES gonna go back and retest the 7725. Very important right now. If you are not in that trade in the ES, you should not be taking a trade at the moment. The reason is we don't know if this line gonna hold or we're gonna have a new breakout. So this area here right now, the ES got stuck between a support and a resistance. We just need to keep our eye on it, and nobody knows where this ES is gonna take us. There is gonna change the whole momentum in the market, and it's gonna have direct impact on your Nasdaq trade. So in order for us sometimes to see what's going on the in the market, we need to keep our eye on the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq, it is the best indicator in the house to identify the what's going on. Nevertheless, it's the 500 company, whether we like it or not. By this ES trying to stay on those level, and now is going back to retest the 7725, that is going to make a decision for you on the Nasdaq if this market fixing to ignite one more time, and maybe there is a potential for much higher profit than what you are already has accomplished for now. So now our eye is on the ES, trying to see now is climbing back to the 7725 and it's gonna retest that number. So it is very important number to see the 7725 is gonna be broken by the ES. That is gonna make the Nasdaq fly, and this is going to be different on that trade on the Nasdaq, where there could be another potential $500 or $200 on that trade. When the market is going to your direction, look where is this Nasdaq, the ES is flirting with the 7725. This is now the critical area at the moment to see if that ES is gonna break. So when I said about those zones, the $35 zones, it pays off. It's not about commercial. It's not and it's not even worth to talk about $35. It's nothing. But this is really key that there is. I cannot see anyone. I will not even trade this market without him. I don't know how anybody can just and actually we have those for uh, it's not, we're not even making money out of those. We're just promotions. We are using them, and and actually what you're paying is all the fees we are paying on the server and all that. But you see right now is the ES. Our eye is on the ES. This right now, if this ES gonna break it, this is gonna make the Nasdaq fly. Absolutely, it's going to make your Nasdaq fly. So this is a very important key. As you see right in front of you, we are flirting with the 7725, and there is a good potential right now. We are about to break it, and we are about to have a new number. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack up my profit because he already break that barrier. And now look at this. Now it's gonna ignite the Nasdaq, and that it is a good potential from 2,600 to 3,000 on that trade. This is a very um, for the guy, it just refusing to look at the chart. You would have got into this market as what it says on the market analyzer, 41525, exit 465, done and it's over. For the guy is using the ATM, let the auto trade take those trades. So emotionally, we're not getting involved with the entry, managing uh, two, three different type of a chart. Everybody can manage. Just you need to do keep your eye on the level and keep your eye on those fibs. They are extremely accurate. The fibs are 20% of the equation, the trading equation. Then you have another structure for trading, the momentum, the pressure in the market. You need to look after, and then you need to look after the fibs. Uh, During those years, a lot of people argue every time you draw the fib on the chart. So those are already planned for you on your chart, on your instruments. You can use Renko bar, you can use minutes. It is adaptable to any chart you use. So right now we are just keeping our eye on those trades. I'm sorry I couldn't cover the rest of the puzzle today. The same story on the we have the future market, the same story we have on the forex. Also, the forex is based on 1 minute. You can auto trade it, ATM, whatever you want to do with it, and then it gives you the new signal and the direction of that trade. And we are using the $10,000 account. We're not using a full contract. We are using a mini account. And right now in pips, we have 100 pips based on your basic instruments. So now we are around 100 pips based on 1 minute chart, which most of the forex traders they use 240 minutes, they use 30 minutes, they have all kind of stuff, and it's a big messy. So this one here also can be used on stocks, and you can feed your auto trade 100 stock for each market. And but I mean, we only have one screen, so I cannot load everything in here. But also the same principle you can use on the stocks, and I will try to turn on the market analyzer on the stock maybe next week. Then we have the scalper. On the scalper here, what you see on the blue market analyzer, we are using 150 minutes, 150 ticks, I apologize, and 1 minute. Those the only two time frame we are using. And aggressive or conservative. Also the scalper, the price action, and the swing trade in here. This is a swing trade in what you see from the Ninja Trader controller. All of them does not require any more optimization. Back testing, forward testing, all this is no need to do this. On your package, excuse me, on your package there is a lot of auto trades. There is around 13 auto trades. Most of them they need to be optimized. Those they do not need. There is a new signal on the 6E. You can see it tells you there is a new signal on the 6E. It tells you the entry is 5930, and then the target is 6090. So the system comes with the sound, but I personally hate sounds, and I don't want to get involved with the sounds. So this is, but you can turn on the sounds if you want to. At the moment, based on the last entry signal, we are on 378 ticks. A total profit based on one contract, 2,400. For the guys have a smaller amount of money, you don't need to cover every single instruments in here. But it is a very good if you start with one ES, one NASDAQ, one Dow Jones, and then you can hash the future based on one contract in case, like today, the YM is not moving or it's going to go south, it's going to get in red. In every single market, you have a good days and a bad days. It's not going to be that system or any other system that just uh, keep winning and not having a bad day. We've had a bad days. We've had a good days. We have extremely good days, and we have some disaster days. And we don't hide anything. We show you everything, guys. Uh, and we show you the good trades and the bad trades. So right now, the ES has broke that barrier, and now we are on the ES is exactly where we expected. Now we have a bumper here at 28, 80.50, and that is very crucial to see if this ES able to break those area here. On your fully automated trade now, you have a new target is 81.25, but we are hoping that today is a Friday, we can penetrate those lines, and by watching this ES right now, this is gonna ignite another levels on the ES. Right now, on the there we go. There is a buyers. When you see this blinking on the chart, I don't want to sit down and wasting time on numbers to read numbers. So by blinking from my corner of my eye, I know now there is some buyers and a heavy buyers on the ES trying to break those level here. I don't know if there is enough buyers to penetrate this area, and you cannot, and you will never know when somebody put in a fake order in the market and then pull out that order millisecond before he gets filled. So for those guys, they are trying to measure the buyers and the sellers. Uh, those guys, when they are putting a large order and they dismiss this order milliseconds before they get filled, they get you lost. And for the ones are relying on that principle, think again. You're not you're not helping. You are um, what they do. They buy time when they are putting 100 contract ES, and then when they try to get filled, or if they are 2 ticks below, 3 ticks below, they do that. They put 100 contract. The algorithm try to go down and get them filled, and then they snap it. So you cannot actually rely on the numbers all the time because they pull it milliseconds before. That's what they do, especially on a large order. So we know there is a buyer. We don't know how big those buyers. We don't know how many of them got filled. So when we saw that chart is a blinking, that means there is an orders coming in. There is a buyers coming in, but there were fake buyers, because if they were strong enough, we would have been able to penetrate that line. So now if we look at this ES, it came in exactly as expected, and now we will see if it is able to break that area. If this area is a very hard area to break. The reason is I don't like to put too many numbers on the right margin here, but we have a huge resistance line at 80.75, followed by that line 81.50, followed by this line 82.75. This is a require big potential buyers and to move and break those areas. It's not easy area to break. This is look, um, even if the Nasdaq is not 100% going with the ES, in the old days it used to be a much more follower, but now the Nasdaq is become independent. If we look at this Nasdaq, we are hitting the high on the Nasdaq with this line here. The resistance line is 82.75. You see? So when you are in a trade, when you are in a trade, or you are using a fully automated or ATM strategy, the market is speaking to you, telling you, I tried 1 time, 2 time, 3 times, 4 times, 6 times. I'm having a hard time getting out of the 82.25. So there is a big difference if you decided to cash in on 23, 2400. The market is coming back right here. If is any pullback, and if anybody is out of the trade, you're very welcome to follow us on that trade. It's going to be somewhere around 460.25 as an entry point again. Okay, as a pullback re-entry. This is from my side, but the system probably have it different. Have it at 44.25, 44.25. Also, it is yeah, from the re-entry point. This is the yellow one, the re-entry. But watch this market right now is pulling back. If you want to follow me on that trade, you can put a limited order on a sim. If you want to follow me on a sim, you can put it around 58 or 57.75. Just a second, guys. I keep forgetting to. If I don't disable the Skype, I'm gonna be hammered with messages. So um, so let's see how it's going to play on that trade, and I will be the ES on the scalper is long, and on the Nasdaq is long on the scalper. That means there is a good potential for that trade to. The ES probably is going to retest the 80.50. We will see what will happen on that trade. If you are curious, as for our traders, sometimes you see those numbers right there here on your chart. Those are not the normal true average price. Those are really something else. Nobody has them. And you have the true average price 9 out of 10 when the market pulled back to the true average price. Look, and is followed by double support, is always here a re-entry point right there. Is always re-entry point. This is a re-entry point, and this is a re-entry point. And if this market go back a little bit, I'm gonna show you the re-entry. This is here, the true average is 65.75 and followed by double support line. If this bar go down a little bit, I will show you it's gonna have a problem breaking this number. So we will try to the ES is trying to uh, climb again. Let's see what else we have. We're just waiting on the ES to see what will happen. This is very good. The Nasdaq. Now we have this confirmed. This is a very strong hold on the 68.25. So we'll wait and see what will happen. And we need to keep our eye on the ES to see. This is a very good news. The true average price right now hit the support line. This is a double confirm. Look. So this is a very strong hold on the Nasdaq. So there is no use to close position at the moment, and we'll keep our eye. I mean, we're trying to extend it much more than this level here, the resistance, where the Nasdaq ran out of steam at the 83 level, but we are trying to keep our eye on the ES to see if that ES able to break this area here, because this is going to be a lot of potential if the ES able to break that. If it's not, and this today is a Friday, and if this ES is gonna start losing up momentum, that's mean we are in a very long hole today. That is gonna be disaster. That is gonna be chop, and that is gonna be the market today is a Friday. This is not good for Friday, for this market sinking like this. So uh, and right now we are right in between, and let's see what will happen. On the scalper did it. Well, the scalpers, the ES, YM, Nasdaq, all of them took a long trade. I like to see that, and Nasdaq is still long on the swing trading. ES is still long. So it's very good to get also information how the other auto trades are doing. Look how this ES, it is very important this ES break those level. Okay, there is some kind of buyers coming in. Let's see, watch. Let's see if this time are able, can you see it's trying to blink? So let's see if they are able to break those area here. You see? Now they're trying one more time. Let's see if we are able to break that area here. Come on. Also keep your eye on the Nasdaq because the Nasdaq resistance line has not been able to break it. It's the 83.50 level. You see, they're having a problem on that line. You see on the ES. So I just don't want this market to sink. If this market is going to sink, it's gonna be a very long day today. And then there is nothing you can do because it's a Friday. Then the only thing is normally on a Friday around 1:30 afternoon. Usually on a Friday, the market goes one direction, either up or down. Then it is tradable around 1:30 when all those noises go home and they're done the trading on a Friday. So this is really where you have the second round on a Friday to take a trade. So this is a very very critical area. I hope. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, the Nasdaq decided to take off. This means we have a takeoff on the ES. We broke the first barrier. We still have this second one, 81.50. Okay, we closed one and we're gonna leave one. We're gonna leave one trade. We close one trade and leave one trade. Right now, the Nasdaq is not gonna respond with the ES. We have a major support area on the Nasdaq here at what is the true average price, 69.75. It's not gonna break it at the moment, and that is gonna probably. This is really cat and mouse play right there. We'll see. Sometimes it is, once you know what's going on in the market, it is really interesting to see what will happen. That's it. Even if you are auto trading and you know what's going on in the market and the market is fighting, it is, I don't know, it's like you're watching excitement movie or something, an action movie or something. It is really, it gets into my blood. I don't know about the others, but it gets, curious how it's gonna be. And now this one here got my curiosity. If this ES gonna able to break this area, or is gonna go ahead and start sinking in, that is not a good news for trading right now. Whether you are auto trading or manual trading, that's not a good news. That's mean there is nothing is gonna happen, and it's gonna cause a lot of sideways in the market. That's not good. So keep your eye on the Nasdaq. This is a very strong hold. I doubt it. Look, you see, it's going to take a lot for this Nasdaq to lose momentum right now. This is the key on the Nasdaq is the 69.50. You see, it's right to the wick. You see what is this wick come in, and this is the true average price followed, confirmed by the support. This is a very strong area right there. This one is not going to die easy on me, the NASDAQ. I'm worried about this ES. There is nothing holding the ES. And until the 75, there is nothing holding that ES. And that it makes me nervous a bit on this trade. Okay. Let's see. This is very, very serious. You see how the NASDAQ is holding? The NASDAQ is holding this area with no problem. Now we are worried about the ES. Let's see what the scalper is doing. Okay. Oh boy. The ES is going down. Let's see. Can you see where this NASDAQ is holding? Right at your true average price and support. You see? It's refusing to sync with the ES. Look. Right on the line. One of them has to give up to the other. Let's see what will happen. There we go. So in a way, this one here, now it is at a very critical area. You cannot take that trade on the NASDAQ from here. But when you see, to our members, when you see this somewhere down the road here, somewhere, this is a re-entry point, is always a re-entry point. You should not let it slip away from you. So seems like the ES is going to go back and retest this number, the 8150. That's very good. That's mean we're gonna have a nice ride all the way to 12 o'clock. Okay, we are 344 into ticks based on the last signal. The only market we are having a problem with is the CL at the moment. On the swing trading, the CL finished, but boy, that auto trade has struggled today to close the CL trade. It was a lot of a small trade, a lot of small trade, and struggled actually to close for today. But on the price action, the CL is struggling. And then we have the gold is struggling today. The 6E did go south, and the silver is also south. And the scalpers are still going in the same circle based on 1 minute. The scalpers, Actually, if we look at the scalper, the ES did very well, 1600. The YM didn't do good, flat down to 60. The NASDAQ was hammered on the scalper, and a 30-year Treasury bond 1000, and the CL is 780. Actually, we had a nice run earlier on the CL, but right now that signal on the CL, it seems like it didn't do it. We'll see. Let me look at the CL while we are waiting. Okay, this is the CL. The auto trade took it at the entry. Okay, I don't know. No matter what you do with the CL, you have a problem at 67.53. This is where your true average price, double resistant. That is a problem. And look what is in the CL. It's chopped and got caught between those two, three, four, five lines. You see, this is a problem. It's not a tradable, folks. The CL is not tradable at the moment. It's not. If anybody is a trader on the CL, you need to put a buy limited order at 67.30. Anything below those numbers, you're looking for trouble. It's not tradable. So let's see if this ES gonna give us some break. Is gonna try to climb to those numbers one more time. Okay, you can see every time when the ES come into major fib line, if you noticed, especially our trader, look at your chart. When there is a major area on your fibs, this is where you start seeing the chart blinking. This is where you see there is somebody trying to push that market up. Could be fake or could be real entry orders. We don't know. You don't know because it's milliseconds that can dismiss it. So knowing the truth, you can see it immediately if this buyers able to break those lines or they fell to break those lines. And right now, it seems like that ES is really struggling on this area we have mentioned. And if we examine the ES, it is on the same three times the ES came onto the same line. Three times the ES tried to break those lines and fell. For the ones has not taken the ES trade yet, I will, if you want to follow on the sim, I will try to find you an entry on the ES. Let me take this one down so we can have a clean picture. Let me get a clean picture on the ES. The 76th level. Actually, there is two entries on this one here. The first entry you can enter, or if you can afford on a sim, two trades. Just a second. There is an entry right now at 76.75, and there is a conservative entry at 75.75. So there is actually two of them, one here and one there. That's your ball game. Try to, if you want to follow on a sim, try to take one here at 76.75, and the second one, if you want to, 75.75, if you want to. The target on that is not much, guys, is 80.50. It's not much, 80.50. So how many ticks? That will give you around $150 in that trade. 80.50. There is not much to, there is nothing to grab out of that one. Look at this ES 1 minute in a clean picture. Look how accurate it is. Here's your projection. Look where is the support line on this ES. And then pull back re-entry, pull back re-entry, pull back re-entry, pull back re-entry. And it cannot get better than that. It cannot. And look at this resistance. Such a good. Every time, try to look at the clear picture without indicator, without colors on the bars. Don't. So we can see where is this market and how this market is today. And it is a very clean picture telling me where is the borders on that ES and where what we are facing on that ES. This is really amazing. I love a clean chart, and try not to color the bars because that is going to confuse you. Do not color the bars. Keep it clean and concentrate on the bars movement, not the bar trend with the bar colors. Those are going to mislead you in a way. Which we have very nice bar colors. Those bar colors is based on a price line. They're not based on an ATR, but still, I prefer if I want to look at any kind of instruments, I prefer to look at the clean chart. We have a new signal on the silver. I don't trade the silver. Somebody has requested the silver. There is a new signal on the silver. It says buy, entry price 150, and then target is 14 to 40. I don't know. I never traded silver on Ninja Trader, so I cannot um, comment on that. It was a request by somebody following us um, on the YouTube. So the market died on us. There is not much going on. Let me see. Actually, the only two trades we have at the moment is the ES and the Nasdaq. And if you notice, folks like the ones, especially our traders, if there's anybody out there from our traders, if you know, I covered this the true average price. I told you this is a very strong hold, and this you're gonna find it on every instrument, and it takes a lot to break those area on the true average price. It takes a lot. So this is a you need to keep your eye on it. I mean, it really takes a lot to break those level, you know. And if we notice, the Nasdaq has been on this true average price from 1023. Right now is 11 1045. So it hold for almost 15 minutes this number, but it seems like now the market is sinking in. So let's see. We are keeping our eye on the ES to see what the ES is going to do. very critical area on the ES. The problem, I said, we don't need this ES to start sinking, because now if we are going to this mess hole here, it's gonna be headache to trade the ES. And I'm hoping to stay on that level and go back and retest, and maybe we'll have a new breakout. The market from the left upper here, you can see the momentum, the pressure in the market, and it's very mixed pressure. This one here is measuring the buyers and the sellers in conjunction with the six different time frame, high time frame, and now the odds are really mixed. So we'll see what the ES is going to do. For the ones they followed me on that trade, because I'm trying to find some small trade for the guys who just came in, or maybe they are late. If you are on that trade, do not try your luck. Get out at 88.50. That will give you maybe a couple $100 on that trade, and it's finished. Um, I wish I can find you something to break. I mean, a major breakout, but right now I have nothing. I'm trying so hard to find an entry for the guys, uh, the ones that, if you like to follow us on the sim. But honestly, I cannot find anything at the moment. The market is just um, sitting and doing nothing. And so we're gonna, we just waiting. Let's look at the reversal. Maybe we can find anything on a reversal. Actually, we had an entry on the reversal, but I'm not sure. It's too late for that. And this is a lot of problems on the reversal, because the market, we covered the reversal. We teach the traders a few weeks ago on this is out of the band sell order, but there is a lot of support area at 75.50, and a lot of, I mean, it's a Friday. It's always hard on Friday to nail everything. So let's see. Now there is a new buyers coming in. Let's see if we are able to break those area. Let's look at the Nasdaq where we are. We are on one contract on the Nasdaq. Let's see if we're gonna able to break this um, area. There we go. For the ones I called the trade for you guys, this is your exit. Um, exactly where we told you to exit. It's right there. That will give you enough from that area here, 76 to 80.50. You do the calculation. This is when we are trying to teach also. If I see something, I tell you. Um, and but it's better than nothing. Okay, we have by now for those guys we called the trade. You should be out, and you should be around $200 on that trade. And I hope if you follow us on a sim. We're not responsible for your trade. So you close that trade to the max at 80.50. This is what we call to close the trade at 80.50, and I hope you close the trade at 80.50. For the ones are using that system, hang on. Uh, if you are in that trade, let's see if this ES able finally to break that area or not. This is The ES now has been struggling for over half an hour to break this area. If this ES break in that area, it's gonna have a very good potential on the Nasdaq, and God knows where it's taking us, the Nasdaq. So this is, I'm getting ready for the Nasdaq to fly. You see what is this number? You see how the bar, the chart, there is a blinking in it, trying the buyers to break this area and have a make. There we go. There we go. It's finished. There we go. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Come to daddy. Yes. We're out of the wood with I'm gonna what you can do, you can take it down, or you can dismiss it when you are using the auto trade and try to put a manual one, and so this is a beautiful, beautiful trade. And I don't know where it's taking us anymore, but we're not gonna complain. The system is hidden on the target 2885 on the ES. So this is really nice. And I'm so glad whoever followed me on that called the ES. I hope you exited where I told you to exit. That will not leave you this weekend empty pockets for the ones are non-members. Right now, let's look at the ES. The resistance is no longer a resistance, has become a support line. And let's see how the they finally broke that thick wall on the ES. So let's keep our eye on that. This is not bad. Uh, Even if you are on one contract ES and one contract NASDAQ, you have to think about it how much money you invested with your broker is less than $500. This is your return on a $500 investment. Guys, it's not every day win and trade in the market. It's not every day. It's not. Don't be misguided. You will have a bad days and you will have a good days. You will have a days where you're gonna be jumping out of your chair from happiness or sadness. During my career, I was a heavy stock trader on Motorola. I made tons of money on Motorola trading, and I got aggressive. And to cut the story short, and also I overmerged myself back then on the future market. Back then was not even a mini ES. I went to sleep, my hair was brown. I woke up in the morning, half my head was white. So don't think anyone is born to be trader or born to have success in this business. The only time you will have success in this business if you earn it. There is no way shortcut in this business. You gotta face that gorilla. You gotta dance with that gorilla. You're gonna get our butt kicked until we start winning. But there is no way there is a magical system or auto trade is gonna take you from 0 to 100 overnight. There is nothing. Of course, there is a disaster systems out there and there is a consistency out there, but there is no magic in the trading. If you don't do your homework, it's not just ignition lift off and now we are in the moon. It never works this way. This is reality. And there is something clicking, not those two. I'm taking it a little bit down. At the moment, from the entry signal, not all day, folks, from the entry signal, Uh, from the last signal we have on the system, based on one contract, we have 495 ticks based from the last signal entry. So right now we have 35 ticks from the last signal. This is the look like this one here, new signal. 285 ticks, 43 ticks, YM, 13 ticks, 30-year treasury bond, South down, 10 ticks, Russell, 100 tick, gold going south, 19 ticks, DAX, that's not much for DAX, 45 ticks, and the 6E is going in the circle, and actually the silver is also in the circle. So uh, again, to start with, whether you have 5,000, 3,000, or 100,000 to start trading, you should not take no more than one ES, one NASDAQ, one Dow Jones until you get to know how to um, manage the trade. Like what you have seen me, I'm trying to pull down the trailing stop. I'm trying to keep my eye on the ES. I can read the ES, I can read those lines, and then I know this chart on the ES and the NASDAQ, they are working in conjunction with each other. Every time the ES have a major area, the NASDAQ is going to stop. Even if the NASDAQ doesn't follow the ES anymore. And also for those guys, they trade the DAX in the morning. The ES can predict the DAX, even there are two different instruments from two different countries. The ES is the best indicator for your DAX trading. And actually, you can predict your DAX trading from your ES, especially if you are using one of those. I don't know if I have a trading panel here, especially if you are looking at the trading panel and see the momentum on the trading panel. I don't have one open, and I don't feel like I want to open one right now. So, so keeping those two chart, and it is very good. I have seen now a lot of our traders doing this. If I'm trading the ES or the Nasdaq, this your auto trade is taking those trade. Try. I mean, if you're not trading the CL, why bother and open a chart for the CL? Use the space you have, and I will maybe put the market analyzer up, and then I will take those two together, the ES with a clean chart. It is the clean chart is more important than this one here, the clean chart. Why? Because I want to see a clean picture, pulling back, resistant, 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 a new breakout. I need to see that. I need to see when I'm in this trade in here, where is my next turbulence? Where is my next problem? Because on that here, on the 83 level, 83.75, I need to make a decision to cash in or not. I need to make a decision cashing in here or not. We called the trades for our guest here, and we told them to exit here. You know, so the market comes in blocks, and we need to know every block what it's doing. So this is to our traders very important to put. Do not color the bars, please. Just put a clean chart to look at the price day after day, because you're not we're not trying to teach you price action. We're not putting you in the room, charging you money and all this. But the day in and the day out, your eyes start get used to, and you start developing your own system. And this is the best way is to develop your own system. The day after day, you start seeing that. Even if you are scalping, swing trading, like right now on the swing trading, you have one trade is 1450 on the Nasdaq. I can chase it and see where it is, this chart, but I need to know if I need to close that chart to maximize my profit. For the guys don't want to touch the chart, that's your right, But I have been showing you guys a day in and a day out. There is a potential on every trade from 200 to $500, depends on this market movement. If you just can keep your eye on it, you can maximize your profit. If on every instrument you can extend your profit $200, let's say ES and Nasdaq, that's $400 a day. That's almost 100,000 a year. So all those count, those small takes, profit, extend your profit. And when you see the market is troubled, then stay away from the poker table today and say today is not my game. I'm gonna switch to swim, to sim, and I'm gonna protect for whatever I have earned this week. Being on this poker table, on the blackjack table, does not mean you're going to be winning. You got to keep protecting yourself, and you have to think that there is somebody out there trying to, for every trade you make money on it, there is somebody else lost money. So there is somebody out there is hungry trying to get some winning trade. So try to be a little bit conservative with your trade. And the most important things, do not go re-enter the market very often. So when we have a trade going to our direction, we need to milk it as much as we can, because you don't know when the next time you're gonna have a door open. You know, just like when you were young and teenager. When you get your hand on a beautiful girl, you better enjoy it because you don't know when the next one is coming like that. So this is where you know don't rush with closing a trade. Do not rush. And the most important, do not use trailing stop, automatic trailing stop. Try to control this automatic trailing stop, and try to always hide your trailing stop behind a support, a resistance, or like if I wanted to trail stop this one here manually, always try to trail stop manually. Do not get too close to the market, but also in the same time, we don't want to be too far. But I know there is a projection here and there is a resistance here. So I'm a double protected on my trailing stop. And I mean, if this market is going to break that line and that line, then might as well go ahead and close that trade. So I'm hiding behind two walls on that uh, trailing stop. And then the second one, I probably will hide it right there, right under the first trailing stop. If you are using the fully automated, your trailing stop one and trailing stop two, they are based on the floor and fibs, and you're not gonna be using the trailing stop. It will be the floor and fibs. So I will hide because those here is calculated for me. It's telling me there is a problem for the market when it comes here. It's not gonna break those numbers pretty easy. But you should never leave a trailing stop out in the open and protect it, you know. So this one here, I have a double protection. And if it's gonna knock me out of one trade, that's very fine. I did my homework. Now watch this market is slipping from that bar to that bar, and I'm sitting right there. So let's see if I'm protected or not. Look at this. You see, I'm hiding behind two walls. And if it's gonna knock me out that trade, that's very fine, fair enough. But at least I give room to this market to go back and forth. So trading is an art. I love it. If we look at the clear picture on the ES, This is a very clean picture. We have a projection on the ES at 79, 75, and the probability is going to hold. And this is where, look, you see, look, here is my trailing stop right there. And look, you see? So this one here did not knock me out of that trade. You see that? So the art is not just the entry, because the entry has been taken care of by your auto trade. It's done. The art is how to stay on that trend if it's going to your favor, and not knock yourself out of that trade. Not unless if you are happy with what you're getting, and you say, I'm not trading anymore, I'm done for this weekend, then close it, go home. But if you are still, we all sometimes we can get aggressive, and you are aggressive, you want to get it up all the way to the 85, 75. Nothing wrong with that. Then you need to play your cards and stay on that trend, and this is where the game start in the trading. It's not the entry as much as how you can find your boundaries around the market, and try to protect yourself, and not to be knocked out of that trade. Every trader has experienced that right front of his eyes. The market pull back, get you out of that trade, and a go 100 tick up in the air, and it makes you miss the trade. The reason I pulled it back, because there is a mid band. You see what is this mid band? So that's why I pulled it back right below the mid band. That mid band here, uh, I don't want to complicate it, but the mid band is actually, there is a plenty of re-entries on the mid band, but I don't want to complicate the trades. I want to keep it simple. This is for another day. Maybe we can do that. But I notice there is a mid band here, and look, now it's trying to short it out. So there is nothing I can fight anymore. I protect myself. If it's gonna knock me out of that trade, it's gonna knock me out of that trade, and it's finished. Because what I try to do, I try to hit behind the mid band. Look, you see, is you playing a game cat and mouse on a tick. Look, look, guys. This is art. This is the game begin in the trading, and this is where the nerve. And when you are experienced enough, you start fighting the market on the tick, and that's exactly what's happening here. I recognize there is a pullback. I pull it right below the mid band, trying to save myself that trade, and it did, you know. And it was a matter of ticks, 2 ticks down, that saved my trade. Look, guys, on the Nasdaq, we have talked about the true average price, and if we notice right now, the true average price is right there, 76.50, and as you see, the true average price has not been broken yet. Look, it's right there. So please, for our members, when you see the true average price in here, uh, re-enter the market. Re-enter the market, because it is a very cheap to trade, and it requires just a few ticks down on the stop loss. So the risk reward on the true average price, they are amazing. And as you see, despite this market is struggling, the true average price has not been penetrated since early this morning. So this is a very important to look out for. And you can see right now, folks, it made a world of difference by recognizing the mid band. Can you see that? I was gonna be knocked out of that trade, pulled it a couple ticks down. This one immediately paid off $200-300 more on that trade, because of knowledge, because of knowledge. And now we are going back to the same story again, and let's see what will happen. I love trading, and you should love the trading, and you should be patient. Kind of go under your skin, and that's why the biggest mistake I see is when people trying to rush to life money. Um, Try to not rush into the life money until um, your hands start moving around the market without thinking. You know, so when you see something like this, you just pull it without even thinking because you recognize there is a problem there. So take your time and try to, even if you are an auto trader, put the auto trades on the side and try to stand looking just at the numbers. Pull up an empty chart and play with it. Make it on a sim trade or follow the signals or do something, but don't waste your time just looking at numbers. Today on the scalper, it could be yesterday. By this time here, we had over 4,000. Today is 2,000. Tomorrow could be down 2,000. Don't just look at the numbers. We need to know what happening today, what's going on in the market, why I lost momentum, why I lost money, where is the problem today in the market. If you really want it to be, uh, you know, I mean, you cannot call it a career if you're not gonna put some effort in there. You cannot buy an auto trade and say, now I'm a trader and I'm gonna change my career. It's not gonna do that. It's not gonna do it. Again, folks, knowing where is the switch on an airplane to turn on the autopilot does not allow you to be pilot. And you have to know what's going on behind the scene, and you have to know, even if you are an auto trader, you have to know what's going on in the market. Otherwise, you cannot auto trade. Doesn't matter which auto trade you are using. If you don't know if this market is a chop, now after we have explained everything what's going on in this market, which one with a right mind right now is going to turn his auto trade on the Nasdaq? As an example, we know this Nasdaq is getting on the high. We know this Nasdaq is coming between those two yellow lines. It is a very critical area right now. So we know the ES is stuck in those area here, having a hard time breaking this area here. Which guy with a right mind is going to jump in on a trade and go ahead and turn on the auto trade? Especially for those guys right now in this room here. After we explain everything, nobody with a right mind now able to take even a trade, because we are at this critical area at the high level, and we don't know if this market holding or not. Of course, there is a different alternative. I can go and find million way I can find an entry, but we don't want to complicate it. We don't want it to. But because we know what is this critical right now, we don't want to take any more trade, because the run, as I said earlier today when we first started today on the YouTube, I said this market is running, and the market, I couldn't even talk because the market was moving and moving and moving. And what I said, exactly what I said, this is good in one direction and it's not good on the other direction. The reason is we already have the early spike. The market normally spikes one time. And after we took that spike today, if we notice on the NASDAQ, got caught and nothing happened. You see? Now we are sitting and waiting tick by tick, and this is going to drive us crazy. And the same thing on the ES. The ES did spike early today around 9:30 till 10 o'clock, and it stopped. The party is over. If we look at the ES, we had a beautiful run, and then we got all the way up here to the 81 level and 81.75, and kiss it goodbye. The party is over. Now there is nothing on this market. The party is over. There is no more trade. Well, we're gonna stay a little bit longer. I will be changing the fresh coffee, and I will be right back, folks. Okay. We got a lot of emails. One day I want to go back and try to open the emails. And we've been getting a lot of emails compliment about when I'm calling one time. I called a trade for the outsider, non members, one or two times in this session, max, because I don't want to use the concept. The concept in the going live is uh, front of the traders to is an for an education purposes only. And for the guys, I don't want to sit down and keep calling it trades. I call one or two. Like today, I called one trade, and the reason I call one trade, I don't want him to, couple $100 for a trade. and I call it so they will not be empty handed. Yes, I nail 8 out of 10. When I call a trade, is 8 out of 10 is right. And some traders has sent me an email. They say it's amazing how you nail those trades, and and but the concept is not to call the trades for you, even if it's you follow me on a sim or not. I don't know. I advise everyone we're not allowed to call a trade for live trade. I advise you to go on a sim, but I don't want to. I don't want to change. I want it to be educational. I don't want it to be sit down and call it trades for you all day long because then we are missing the point here, and then everybody is going to be sitting. We had this experience before, and then waiting on a trade. When I wanted my whole purpose here, putting all my work on the side, spending a couple hours a day to the public without getting paid for it, without uh, collecting any email. It is to educate those guys the best we know, the best we can, and the positive results is 100%. The positive is 100%, and and uh, and they are we're not charging. We don't know who's out there. We don't know the email. We don't know the names. But it is about time somebody come out and show you those trades, and at the same time, I will call one or two trade for you. So for your message, no, I will not turn that a live trade live on a YouTube to just calling it trades. I don't want it to collect people on a YouTube. I prefer to have 20 people on a YouTube learning than 200 people waiting on me to call a trade. I don't want to do that. No. Um, you need to learn how to do your own fish because this we are very busy people, and that is uh, uh, putting a lot of work on us because the first 2 hours we're not given any support. We're not trading. We're not. I mean, we are just simply education, and that is extending the working hours for us 2 hours every day. So I want it to be educational, and I will try to keep it as long as I can on that until I get bored with it. So yes, timing is the time is really our enemy because there is not enough hours a day to cover everything. But right now, guys, let's see if this ES is going to test the 8450. I will stay with you on that trade. If you notice, the Nasdaq stayed where the true average price is above the target. We are done with the Nasdaq actually, but we're hoping that ES is gonna spike one more time, 84.75. So we are watching on the 84.75 if we can do it. If we notice to if it's any of our traders now you are between those two yellow lines and also on the Nasdaq between the two yellow lines. For how we teach you on the ES, now we are on a critical area with the ES, and on the you cannot take long in those areas anymore. You cannot take long, folks. So for if, for our traders, when you see the market come in between those two yellow lines, open your Renko bar because it's a shame not to take advantage of it. And then you wait on this market to get out of the band. What time now is 11:22? Look where is the target sitting. Those your institutional numbers is 87.25. So I don't know if it's gonna hit it before 12 or it just finished. But I want my traders to mark on your chart the 87.25 and the 90.75. Why? Those the target and a final destination on the ES for today. The probability is 93.50. Once we hit the target one, it's gonna be profit taking. Today is Friday, like any other day. And then the target two. Once you see this market hit target two, the party is over for rest of the day. Out of the band, you have two options. 87.25. The second target is 28.90.75. This is where those guys they're gonna cash in and call it off for today. So that is those are not fibs, but that is gonna make a problem. Once they cash in, this market is gonna go sideways. So mark those numbers, the 87.25 and the 28.90.75. After those numbers, call it kiss the ES goodbye for Monday. And and God help us if this market's sinking right now. Let's look. That's me. We are in a very long hole for today. Let's see. Really, there is no movement. Again, do not use the Renko for trading with the trend. Never use the Renko to trade with the trend. Any Renko is misleading, misguiding, and you will never be successful trader. I don't care whether this Renko from us or somebody else. Renko bars range is for reversals only. You will never be able to be success trader on a Renko bar. Maybe one out of a million. Good luck with that. This is if you wanted to take your trade to another level, you need to start with the 1 minute and not to tweak in 1 minute, 1 minute, because this is where you see exactly what happened in the market. And if we comparing this 1 minute chart with this Renko bar, this one is not telling me anything. This one is making sense. It's telling me what was going on in this market. Here is nothing. Rubbish. You cannot trade that with the trend. No way. But when I get out of the band, like those area here with the support line on a Renko bar, yes, I'll take that one in a long trade. But I will never try to take a trade in the middle of that, because look at this one here, folks. How this ES climbing all the way up, and look at how this 1 minute is sinking, is showing that it's flat. Here it's not showing as a flat, it's showing as trending. Look, if you cannot see that, then I strongly advise you do not trade anymore. If you cannot see that, this is a misguiding. There is no trend here. And this one here is telling me the market is really struggling. If you cannot see that, I strongly advise you stop trading. You need a lot of training. And the only one you can blame yourself, not whatever system you have from somebody else. This is the true story behind the ES today. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Let's see what will happen. Okay, there is some buyers coming in. Let's see if we are. You see where the buyers are, guys, because we have this line. Every time you see a line, you see start to blinking. They want to break that area here is 8250. Let's see if they are able to do that. We are stuck on the 8250 on the ES. And look how many times the 8250 struggling. It's been since 1048. The ES is not been able to break the 8250. So this is really a problem at the moment with the ES. $86.75. So if this ES start moving, the first target is 87.75 and the resistance is 88.25. This one here, 87.25. I really would love that market to go up so we can call a short trade out of the band and uh, see how we'll play. Well, we're still waiting, guys. Okay. Ja. Nee, nee, du kan voor die. Ja. Oké, heel fijn. Oké. I want to stay till 12 o'clock to see if we can nail a reversal on the ES. So what it is a fight between the clock 11:34. So normally we should get it between 11 and 12. So let's see if we are going to, and then is a profit taken and kiss it goodbye. So let's see. I'm watching it. I want to show you that not everything is based on indicators. There we go. It's working like a clock. There we go. Aren't there something? Look, you will see, guys. Let me show you something. That's what I'm waiting on, the 12 o'clock profit taken. And then you're going to see the power on those numbers. Out of the band, those your, has nothing to do with you. The third one, the retailers one and two. And you will see right on time, we will be hitting those and nothing will happen after that. You will see. Now it's 11:35. They're gonna yank it to this area here. You will see. And I challenge anyone can make money after that. Manual, auto trading, anything. I challenge anyone can make money after that. Let's look. Easy to talk about anything when you're not involved in it and hide behind a computer and not getting involved in it. And actually, it is very hard when you are on a YouTube front of the traders and you face a challenge. So there is a two different things. Is different when you are after the fact, the end of the day, say, oh, you have a trade here, you have a trade here, you have a trade here, and it is a total different ball game when you are sitting in front of the trader and you're trying to predict everything for the trader front of you. I think this is what separate the boys from the girls. This is what separate whoever have experience in this business and whoever is trying just to market a product or he got paid to market a product or he's very good on criticizing but he cannot come and get his hands dirty and show us what you know about this business. So right now it is right on the clock. It's 11:37 And it's 87.25, the first target and the second target. So this is something I don't want anyone tell me what happened today. I want somebody tell me what is going to happen. Any trader can see what happened. Anyone can say you can take a trade here, take a trade here, take a trade here, and you would have been millionaire. Yes. Tell me where's this bar going and get it over with. Just tell me where's this bar going. So this is what the most difficult task in the future trading, trying to predict the market, not follow the market. So let's see where we're gonna end up at 12 o'clock with this market ES. To me, is a challenge, and we will see what will happen, guys. I want to show you. Open your head. Excuse me. I wanna show you that it's not all about indicators, you know. And I would like you, especially my traders, to open their eyes to something, behind what kind of games they play in us. Those guys, those big guys, moving the market. They're really playing us good. And if you don't understand what they're doing, you will never get it anywhere. Okay, so right now we're not that far from the target, but we are 11:39:47. Watch this. We are at 84.75, and we are not that far from 87.25. And you will see what will happen to there we go. Look at the clock. Look at those numbers. Look at this market. And I challenge every single trader knows about those. Here we go. Don't talk about trading. Come here, lay your chart in front of the traders, and try to predict the future market. Very simple. Now we are 11:40:51. Look, so the first target is 87.25. We still waiting. It was a very interesting day, and I would like to see the end of this game today at 12 o'clock. So we're gonna stay and see the end of it because it's been a challenge today on the ES. Trying to predict the ES was amazing, and I want to show you how they play this game. I hope we are able to hit it before 12 o'clock. Now it's 11:45. It looked like the ES is dead. Let's see. In the meantime, I will open. Uh, if there's any of the uh, you have a genuine question, any if there's any of our members, if you have any question in here while we're waiting till 12 o'clock, you just ask me on the Skype. If there's any question, any of our customers out there. It's Friday, probably they're not here. Let's see, guys. It's coming to the 12 o'clock. I want to see the 12 o'clock and I want to see this number, the 8725. I really would love to call that short once we get up here, you know, but let's see. We're still a few minutes from 12. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the silver. I don't trade the silver. I think yes is out of date. The silver. I don't. I'm thinking to even move it because we had a request over it, and I'm gonna. I mean, I don't want to. I don't know anything. I never trade the silver, so I'm gonna be. It's gonna be gone next week. Not unless if somebody requested, then we put it. If there's anybody out there have their own instruments they want us to put it on, we'll be more than glad. If we have the data, we will be more than glad to. Uh, that person who requested the silver, Ben, I never heard from them again. And as I remember, it was a woman. But we'll go ahead and anybody have an instrument beside those, we'll be more than glad if we have the data. We'll put it on for you. Um, I was really hoping on calling a reversal, and we are a few ticks away. So we're gonna stay to see at 12 o'clock. We should be getting those at 12 o'clock. We're still missing a few ticks to get to the first target. So, and they should hit between 11 and 12. And today we're shorting out on the ES. We still have a few ticks short, but you cannot take reversals from this area. You gotta wait. They might turn it around on you. If you wanted to take a reversal on out of the band on the ES, you have the 87.25 and the 90.75. If you wanted to do this on a sim, you can reverse the market from those numbers here only, but I would not take a reversal from that area right now. This is nothing because you have a support line. It's going to cause a problem. You have a mid band. So this one is not going anywhere, folks. So do not jump on a reversal here. It's too early for that. We need a bit higher up to to the 90.50 or 87.25. Those are the reversal entry, and we're gonna stay till 12 o'clock. So, oh, we're done with the Nasdaq. We're done with the Nasdaq. It's out. Okay. Well, folks, that's all what we have today. And if you like us, please give us the thumb up. And on Monday, um, it is for members only. And on Tuesday, we'll continue every day on uh, live on the YouTube. Uh, and I want to say, wish everyone um, nice weekend, and we'll be back on live on Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. God bless you all, and see you next week. Bye for now.